All right, so Levi, as you know, this season on the podcast, I am trying to give people more ownership of their episodes. So I've given everybody the opportunity to create a presentation about something involving the Party Room Film Festival. And what is your presentation on today?
My presentation is on the future of PRFF content at large. Do I go now?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for coming to my presentation. Today we're going to be talking about the future of PRFF content. And as you can tell by my little subtitle, the future of PRFF content is bright. It's very bright. Okay, let's get started. Let's start with the State of the Union, State of the Content Union. What kind of content do we already have? Obviously, there's films, commercials. Those are the first two kind of things we saw. Film trailers, we saw some of those pop up afterwards. Podcast, essential. The beauty of PRFF actually came after the podcast. I was surprised to learn that. Live reaction videos closely followed. Then we have festival recaps. Okay, let's go to the second State of the Content Union. There's more BTS videos, trading cards. It's a big addition. Attack ads, or attack ad, if you will. Podcast wife editions. Casting crew commentary. Mini pods. Extended editions. I'm pretty sure that's just Tanner, I believe. There may be, yeah. If I'm missing one, don't sue me. All right, let's go. Let's go on. PRFF Running League. PRFF Fantasy Football. Listen, I know that there are the funny little acronyms, but I just can't do it anymore. So I'm just doing it as I see fit. Okay, except for this one, which is the PRFF and then we've got the PRFF Fireplace, which was very cool. I think there's one more. Yeah, the Christmas Spectacular podcast. It's a lot of content, which leads to a very important question. Is the market saturated? As our graphic says. A resounding no, it is not saturated. So what's next? Board games. Board games are next, and undoubtedly some concerns may come to mind. Market research has actually shown that people are asking, isn't this kind of like trading cards? To which, again, the answer is no, it is not. Now that people's concerns have been laid to rest, and we're going to move on. The think tanks across the globe are actually have been working on this, putting their minds together to brainstorm some of the best ideas possible for a PRFF board game. I've got things like the race to make a film, make the best podcast, Red versus Blue the game, a hit in some niche communities, but ultimately not the one. Script writing frenzy, film festival tycoon. But these weren't good. These were not good ideas. But then, and charades. That was. But then they hit the big one.
The big one.
Gentlemen, for your consideration, Sir Sam, When the Moon Stands Still. In this cooperative real-time game, you play as Sir Sam and his closest allies racing against time to find the elusive town person who can avert a cosmic disaster. Will you save Sir Sam's village before the clock runs out? Set before the events of Where the People Walk Backwards, this new installment in the classic Sir Sam storyline will leave you saying, indeed! The future of PRF content is Sir Sam, When the Moon Stands Still. That is, if the IP owner will let us use Sir Sam and the many other trademarks. We didn't really have time to reach out to him because I threw this presentation together in the last 2 hours. That's it.
do you have is there a Q&A portion?
This is now the time where questions can be asked and answers may or may not be given.
Okay. Tell me about Sir Sam When the Moon Stands Still. Is this a deck building game? Is this an RPG? Roll your dice, move your mice. What do we got?
Yeah, so It is. I'm trying to think of the closest thing. It's a map building tile laying game. So I've played a game called Escape, and there's another one called Magic Maze that kind of follow this formula where you are attempting to do something quickly.
Mhm.
And so it's all very fast. Like there's always a time limit. The game plays in 10 minutes or less, something like that. So it's all kind of like it's very, very fast. Those games tend to just have like one goal, which is to exit the maze or exit the board. Forbidden Desert is a little bit like that, but it's because it has tiles that you're trying to move around, I think, or maybe Forbidden
Mhm.
Tower. But this one is going to have more like I think more variables, more quests and stuff like that. And actually, the thing that I'm excited most about this game is it's going to add again, this is pending Paul's approval. It's going to add some very interesting lore to
Mm.
Sir Sam and some of the characters involved. So,
So previously unseen lore.
yes, this will be new. This will
Okay.
add some kind of depth to some dynamics that you see in the original film.
So you said that it, along with adding lore, it does add characters. Are these playable characters? What is this, a 2 to 4 player game? How many people can play this?
My guess is probably we're still in the prototyping stage, so I can't get
Mhm.
too specific, but we're looking at between 2 to 6 people, I think is going to be probably the amount. Probably ideally it's going to be like 3 to 6. It'll play best, but you can play with two. Yeah, so Sir Sam, formerly, I'll tell a little bit of it that you like learn when you're reading the instructions. Sir Sam, unknown what kind of if you there's some kind of like best friends that Sir Sam has.
Mhm.
Could be the knights that he trained with in the academy, could be just this could be actually before Sir Sam is Sir Sam. I'm still a little fuzzy on that. But these are his closest friends, and there's this just cosmic threat. The when the moon stands still is kind of alluding to the threat that'll get some
Mhm.
more like flavor text in the game. But essentially, like there's a comet or a meteor, and like you have to use them. You have to find a magic spell in
Mhm.
order to avert this disaster, because otherwise the moon will be destroyed by it, and it'll start a chain of events that will eventually lead to galactic war, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, you are playing as Sir Sam and his friends, like trying to find this shady figure that's been like around the village and stuff, and people are like, that dude probably knows how to like thwart this meteor. So yeah, and if you don't find him in time, if you don't get the spell, then the game is over, and Sir Sam's village is destroyed.
What is the age demographic for this new game?
We're looking at definitely 18 and up. There's going to be lots of blood, nudity, gore. Because this is a board game. This is not a film, so none of
Mhm.
lots of swearing.
You're saying that
But
the festival rules don't apply,
oh,
like
absolutely
the
not.
film festival, the film rules don't apply.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I've checked with nobody, so I don't actually know. But there's no there. I'm deciding this, and I know Paul is pretty loosey goosey with that kind of stuff. We see that in Sir Sam, so I don't think he'll have a problem with it.
I love the idea of this board game, but I think where certain games like Catan, make their money is by having expanded editions.
Mm.
So tell me a little bit about, like, have you thought about different editions, different expansion sets that could be applied?
It's been a long. I have had 12 hours to think about this, but surprisingly, I haven't come up with any expansions yet. But I do think that this, like being in a universe that we all kind of know and love, I think there's lots of stories to be told there. Actually, to be real for a second, that was the one. I had other ideas. I was like, what about something set in the universe of Pegged? What
Mhm.
about I had a couple other ones too. I can't remember what they were at the moment. But this one, just like as I was thinking about it today, I was like, this is the clear winner, because it's like it's a great IP, and also like Sir Sam and Squire Stephen just like going on adventures.
Mhm.
You know, we saw a side quest. What if we did a main quest? Or what if we, you know, saw an
Yeah.
origin story? And so I was like, that's perfect. So thank you, Paul.
When I know you said you're only in prototyping right now,
Yeah.
when will you be moving into game testing? And then when are we looking at possibly a beta release? And
Hmm.
then how much will this cost?
Yeah, at
If
least
somebody wants to buy the game.
89.99, because it'll have premium gold finish tokens, platinum for premium subscribers, for the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But alpha, we'll probably go into alpha sometime in early January. We've got a manufacturer who's going to do an early run, so we're good on that. But I honestly will start prototyping, you know, over break. I'm kind of on that grind. And then beta, at least a beta. Hopefully, we'll be doing play testing sometime after January. I've got a couple contacts in the industry that are going to get me in a couple groups. Um, it's crazy. You really wouldn't
Yeah.
believe like how many
Mhm.
people out there will pay money to play your game when it's not finished. It's unbelievable. So that actually like helps us get funded. Anyway, hopefully a beta or maybe even a full release by September next year. You know, we're looking at a finished board game by next film festival.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right. So everybody be on the lookout for that. If it goes the way of like No Man's Sky or Fire Festival, you know, make sure you tweet, make sure you DM, make sure you Instagram, like just make sure you are in the streets rioting if this is not out by
Yeah.
September of
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, keep the developers accountable. They typically are pretty bad about getting stuff in on time. Usually comes down to the last minute. So,
Thank you so much for that presentation, Levi.
of course, I actually want to make this game.
You should. You absolutely should.